Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Higanbana no Sakuyoru ni. We are going to be diving into Chapter 6. This is One Girl's Day. I almost said 5, as only had a couple sessions, but it turns out these go by pretty quickly, depending on which chapters you're reading. One Girl's Day, Chapter 6, let's just get right into it. Who are we meeting this time? Will, Meso Chans show up, or are we just sticking with Higanbana? I dig Higanbana. She seems interesting, and I appreciated the break from Meso as she's interesting, but having her there all the time would get boring after a while. If she's just doing the same thing where she's like, oh, you shouldn't do bad things, I crush you, or I'll scare you off because I can't be beaten. Higanbana herself is a much more interesting character as you don't know all her motivations and background. So having her show up is way more interesting. And she'll probably be more interesting until we find out her background, and if it's exceptionally mundane, you'll kind of just be done with her there. If it's interesting, well, you'll still be interested. So I tripped and skinned my knee. Oh, that hurts. On top of that, I was late. Been there. It was fun. Fun in a... Well, that was fun. I skinned my knee. Fun in a... I was having fun rushing. I was running. There have only been 3 times I can think of that I run at school. First was for gym. After physical exercises were over, they'd make us run tons and tons of laps around campus, and I was always bad at it. But now I'm not wearing a gym uniform, so it's not gym class. Second, during break. I was messing around with my friends while causing a commotion, chasing and being chased by them. This was fun. I loved it, and right now I'm carrying a backpack, so it's not during break. Which means it must be the last one. Oh, how awful. This easygoing thinking was just a form of escapism. There weren't any other students running like me. Oh, this is awful. I really don't want to be late. I'll turn at that corner and make the last straight line into the school gate. Turn now for the home stretch. Ah! And just then I stumbled over something I couldn't see. Well, if I could have seen it, I wouldn't have tripped. The fact that I tripped over something pretty much means I didn't see it. I mean, it depends. Even if you see things, you'll kind of sometimes still stumble. Like if you're rollerblading, you might see something. And you'll still, stumble because, it's kind of awkward to jump over everything perfectly if there's too many gaps. I had, there was, a hill near my university, and it was paved with asphalt. This is the sidewalk, by the way, paved with asphalt, and there were these massive cracks in it to the point where, it curved up. Instead of being flat and smooth, the cracks, curved up. And they were smaller than, the length of your rollerblades. So you kind of had to, if you were going up on the sidewalk, if you were on the sidewalk, which you couldn't go on the road there, so had to be sidewalk. If you're on the sidewalk, you literally had to, shuffle rapidly. A whole bunch. You had to, basically go sideways up a section, which was really irritating to pull off, as if you're coming into the uphill or going into the downhill, you'd basically have to, halfway through your hill climb or descent, instantly change to walking sideways because you couldn't do anything else. Easy to stumble there. Easy to stumble there. But I understand. Tripping over practically nothing, done that too. I took a tremendous fall and skinned my knee. Ah, that hurts. My knee started burning hot and a throbbing pain began. Yeah, that's a real pain. Slowly a bit of blood started oozing out. It's not too bad. A small scrape is annoying, but nothing too worrisome. I gently traced it with my index finger. My fingertip was slightly stained red. How interesting. Most annoying is the concern that you tore your pants or whatever. Looking down on her from on top of a wall were 2 school yokai. Higanbana-san, that wasn't nice. There was no reason to trip her. Oh, it's fine. Running because it looks like you'll be late, tripping and skinning your knee. I think it's a day everyone should want to experience at least once. Higanbana giggled. Of course, the girl could not see those figures. I got up and looked at the other side of the school gate. And then that ruthless chime. The gates rattled closed and the tragicomedy of shutting down the students who rushed by at the last minute unfolded. Which means that looking at myself here, it's 100% decided I'm late. Which means that even if I run now, it's no use. Oh, then I'll walk. Even if I'm already late, running now would just be ridiculous. While laughing indifferently, I calmly began to walk. From afar, the educational guidance instructors were urging us to hurry it up. Even if we hurry or not, what's it matter if you're going to get mad at us for being late anyway? There's no incentive for that. At the very least, in exchange for your getting mad at us, you should let us enjoy the leisurely morning 100-meter stroll to the gate. It was a good season. I was dripping with sweat from sprinting with all my might until now. The wind that cooled my sweat and rejuvenated me felt incredibly good. Isn't the start to a horror story? Now that I'd had my fill of this refreshing morning, I calmly arrived at the school gate. Thump. I got hit by the teacher's fist. What are you walking so slowly for? You're late, you know? Late! I know. I'll run if I can make it, but it was already settled I was late. Enough with the excuses. If you don't like running, you can start leaving your house earlier tomorrow. Of course, the classic, I already heard the bell and saw I was late, so there was no reason to rush, and then they yell at you for not rushing even though you're already late. Like it matters. Alright. It's like, she clearly knew. She clearly knew. They were gonna yell at her regardless. Alright, thud. I took another relentless blow to the crown of my head. Ow, ow. It's throbbing now. Ah, how fun. Alright, get your butt in gear and hurry to class. You better not be late again after today. Got it. At least your response is decent. Alright, get going. Don't run in the halls. And with that, the teacher was satisfied. Why not run in the halls? You just told me to run. You told me to run if I'm late. Shouldn't I be running? Inconsistent orders. Because a smile and honest response, that was a child's best weapon. The worst part is, I'd say wiping out on concrete or asphalt hurts way more than wiping out on school floors. A, school floors are cleaned on a regular basis. And B, like, they're like smooth linoleum tiles half the time, right? They're not gonna cause a ton of scrapes. It'll just, you could like slide on half of those. Oh well. Yeah, a smile and honest response, a child's best weapon. That kind of exchange was also a little bit enjoyable. I went through the gap the teacher opened in the gate and broke into a run. Yep. Today felt like a day that something wonderful would happen. This is the start of a short horror story. Tripping, being late, getting smacked by your teacher. And that's a wonderful day. What an optimistic kid. I hope they're not high on the copium of some otherworldly spirit like the last story. It's a bit too early for that, though. We already had one of those a couple chapters ago. Elle, let's stop. This kind of teasing. Oh, it's fine. I just wanted to try it out. Whether that kid would say it was a wonderful day no matter what is done to her. Higanbana grinned and looked up at the school building. Today's unfortunate victim of this mischievous yokai's hobby, Marie felt the deepest compassion. I'll take attendance now. Aikawa-kun? Here. Adachi-kun? Yeah. Morning roll call. Answering this meant it was the beginning of my school day. Those who are bored of school, or those who are still tired, respond sluggishly. Seems like such a waste. After all, if you respond cheerfully, you could have had a wonderful day of that same extent. Yeah? That's why when my name was called, I respond in an exceptionally energetic voice. Here? The low spirits of before, in light of my clearly cheerful voice surprised everyone with their blank faces and they giggled. Yeah, exactly. Concrete and asphalt is way worse than the school floor. It's like, don't run in school, and I'm like, bro, like, that's like the safest place to run. Running outside is super dangerous. Like, I'm not going to literally die if I trip while running out inside. Like, I might hit someone, but I mean, two people colliding is gonna be like unpleasant. Maybe someone will get a bruise. If I trip and fall while I'm sprinting outside, I could literally fall into the street and be run over by a car. Like, it could go pretty badly if I trip, okay? Like, it could very easily go very badly for you if you trip while running outside. That's kind of funny, because if they're late for class, right, there's going to be, like, no one in the halls. So depending on where you're running, it might be, like, ridiculously safe to book it, but whatever. I think the teacher's just being unnecessarily silly, but that's... I mean, there's no real reason to, like, pick apart his argument. He's not being paid to think, he's being paid to yell at people and apparently beat kids. Lovely person. It's okay, it's an older time. Beating children is okay in the, like, 1800s or whatever. You wanna laugh? Laugh. You can't relive the same day at school more than once. That's why at the start of this day, known as today, that won't come again, it makes sense to greet it with spirit. She is so positive. Well, there's a good response. Everyone else, do it like that too. Why does this I mean, I guess that's kind of what you want, right, as a teacher? I should think about this from my own perspective here. What do I want my wonderful viewers to respond to my questions like? And I probably say enthusiastically, even though I probably wouldn't want to respond to it enthusiastically. So, you know what? I think that's fine. You gotta try and pump people up. Next, Nugami-san. Here. Starting from my response, the atmosphere of the class suddenly changed. Everyone began responding with cheerful voices as though to keep from losing against the person before them. That is not a thing people do. That is not a thing that happens when you're taking attendance at all. See? With just one happy greeting, the day can change. I wonder why we never do these obvious things. The people who respond like they're bored, end up spending the rest of their day in tedium, and that's just sad. Yeah, due to skating, you've had days where you messed up your knees, shins, elbows, hands all once. I mean, just wiping out once on, like, concrete can easily give you, like, scrapes on your hands. Scrapes on your hands, knees, and, like, an elbow or two. Pretty easily. An elbow pretty easily. But I guess it's probably fine for the teacher anyway, because it's not the kid's not their responsibility while they're not on the ground, so they don't care if they run or not. That's basically what he's saying. Like, don't run in the halls because you're our responsibility then, but you're not our responsibility when you're not on school grounds, so we don't give a fuck. Alright, I'm gonna collect your homework, so I want everyone from the back to pass it up to the teacher. Hope there's nobody who forgot to do it. I shouldn't have to say what will happen if you forgot. The teacher threatened with a grin. If you forgot your homework, you had a punishment of having your cheeks pinched and twisted. It hurts, and the expression of people who get pinched is silly, so it makes everyone laugh. Though there isn't a person here who would want to forget their homework. But still, there's a few reckless boys who will smile defiantly and proclaim, "Oh yeah, I forgot," and stand up from their seat. The boys are just so careless. There's not a single girl who would forget. Drills are really not fun at all. I don't even know how many pages of those I had to do, so I can sympathize. Higanbana, that girl's worksheet? That disorderly thing that Higanbana was babbling about was without a doubt that girl's practice notebook. The one that should have been in her desk. The girl, muttering how strange it was still searching around in her desk. That's weird, even though I swear I put it in my backpack. Why? The person behind me was collecting everyone's drill sheets and handing them to me. No, this is no good. If I don't turn it in... Why isn't it here? This is too weird. In the end, even going so far as to turn her backpack upside down, her worksheet never appeared. Alright, all of you who forgot it, head to the front. Even though I told you not to forget it? Jeez. There were 5 boys and I was the only girl. Why? Even though I know I did my homework and put it in my bag. I kept thinking that way, like I didn't want to gracefully accept my punishment and I felt awful. I bet I just left it in my desk at home. Mama always says, before you go to sleep, make sure you aren't forgetting anything and thinking it was a pain. Now I'm being punished. Oh. The 6 I forgot lined up and each after the other had their cheeks pinched and twisted. These boys were all habitually forgetful. Really? How many times do I have to tell you before you stop forgetting? Next time you forget, I'll do this double, you hear? Double! I'll pull on your cheeks till your face looks like a bulldog's. While she threatened them, she pinched each of their cheeks one by one, exactly the way you'd pinch and stretch mochi. Seeing those warped, funny faces, everyone laughed hysterically. Man, normally I'd be laughing with them. What a disgrace. Oh, now this is rare. Did you forget yours too? Yes. I thought I did. I guess I forgot to put it in my backpack. Well, really. It's pretty disappointing to have done your homework and let it all go to waste because you forgot it, right? Be more careful next time, alright? I wasn't someone who constantly forgot my homework, so the teacher only admonished me gently. I nodded cheerfully and brightly replied that I'd be careful next time. As I thought it was just a put on, my collar was violently pulled back. But I still need to punish you. Learn from this experience and don't forget again. My soft cheeks were tugged, stretched, and twisted. I guess my face was pretty funny because everyone was bursting with laughter. But that was somehow funny. Even though it should have hurt, it made me laugh too. Right, we're done here. Go back to your seat. While saying this and freeing me, I could even see my teacher seemed to be laughing. My cheeks hurt. I was laughed at by everyone, but it was fun. While feeling like I was the only one who was given a reward from the teacher, I triumphantly returned to my seat. The pain in my cheeks now had become a pleasant feeling. That looked like it hurt? Having your cheeks pinched and pulled like that? She's not bad. Even after going through that, she's still thinking it was fun. It's kind of nice, isn't it? Oh, yes it is. Isn't this interesting? It makes me want to test her more. Higanbana's smile twisted wickedly, though really, there weren't any more clean, twisted tests she could do. What do you mean by test? Oh, isn't it obvious? Testing whether she'll think things are fun regardless of how far she's pushed. While Higanbana's eyes glittered and narrowed, Marie sighed deeply. Marie was starting to realize that while Higanbana was in a good mood, if she were to interrupt her with an awkward comment, Higanbana would get strangely pouty. As long as she doesn't start saying she'll cause any harm, I suppose I can tolerate it. There's no way Higanbana could guess Marie's wordless laments. Alright, let's try it out. Let's see if you'll still think everything's fun no matter what happens, or how far you're pushed. The girl who caught the bad-natured school yokai's eye. In any case, had a series of unfortunate events all day. On just this day, the rays of the sun felt really good. And without thinking, just as I dozed off, I was suddenly hit by my teacher. And I didn't know what page we were on in my textbook. So that's unfortunate. Falling asleep in class. Been there, done that. It's not the most fun. Continue reading. Go on. My teacher's suspecting me. He thinks I was falling asleep. Page 48. Thank you. Right as people were getting impatient, the person behind me became my lifesaver. During these times, there's not a girl who doesn't feel she has wonderful friends. Even though I was in quite a pickle falling asleep, and since it was such a wonderful feeling, I was happy with it. Next was the science incident. We were measuring the temperature inside a test tube. The teacher said if we didn't pay attention to the thermometer, the test tube could break in spite of everything. Is it just me or is this music really loud? Turn it down a bit. I'm gonna turn that down a bit. This track is really loud. Yeah, okay, pay attention to the thermometer. Shatter, of course. Oh, now I've done it. Why did the thermometer have to get so slippery all of a sudden? Behind her, the mischievous school yokai giggled. Really? What are you doing? Sorry. It turned out like this. The thermometer stuck out from the bottom of the test tube. When it started squirting out like a water gun, it was quite comical, and everyone in my group started giggling and laughing. Yeah, the track is loud due to bad mixing, but it is a good track. It's hard to complain. You just want to adjust the mix. Well, later the teacher got mad at me, but I still had too much fun. Then there was the time at lunch. For some reason, I just couldn't follow. When I was drinking my milk, it suddenly went up my nose and a humongous sneeze came out. Everyone could tell it felt pretty awful when I finished my sneeze, but then I had lines of milk coming out my nose and everyone in the class cracked up. It must have been infectious because countless boys started spurting out milk in the same way and the whole class erupted in explosive laughter. I and everyone else was reeking of milk and rolling in laughter. Even though I suffered through that, nothing could keep me down, and not even the lunch on the menu could beat a room filled with raucous laughter. And so as I wiped my face with my handkerchief, I couldn't stop laughing. You know, maybe while she's drinking milk is going too far? Even after that, she still thinks it's fun? She's pretty tough after all. Oh, she's making me want to see her cry no matter what it takes. I'll make you cry. I'll definitely make you cry. I bet my title is Dancing Higanbana, the number 3 school yokai on it. Please don't bet your name on something silly like this. Higanbana just bullying this poor kid for no reason because she wants to make her suffer. What a lovely person. After lunch was a fun afternoon break. It's the most fun time at school. The boys all dashed out of their classrooms at once. Running around the courtyard brimming with energy on a day with weather like this surely would be fun. I also dashed out with my friends. Hurry, let's go. Boys are gonna take all the balls from us again. If we're late, only the deflated balls will be left. You guys get access to gym equipment during break? The fuck are you going to? At my school, you'd get in trouble if if any of the gym equipment was used during break. Like if they left the gym equipment out from like playing soccer or something during gym class and you used it, you'd get in trouble for using it. They wanted that shit all locked up. Alright. Where should we play? How about over by the meteorological equipment? Grass over there feels good. If you get a bunch of people together and you have a ball in the warm grass, just by that, the afternoon break glittered vividly. Okay. Because I was running around excitedly, I wasn't paying attention to what was in front of me. There was a girl hiding by the shoe rack and I violently slammed into her with my right shoulder. She was probably an upperclassman. Her hair was long, beautiful, and incredibly impressive. I'm sorry. I moved the side of my busted up shoulder around too much and started spinning around and fell over like something out of a comic. And then fell over. I'm spinning like crazy, like a teacup at an amusement park. The feeling was likely coming in small pieces due to the shock of that intense pain. It was a pain so sharp it felt like the bulky blade of an axe was splitting apart my forehead. I must have hit myself hard against the corner of the shoe rack. While I stopped at the shoe rack, I spun around and squatted down. You shouldn't run in the hallways. Sorry. She said this while putting on a serene smile, but because the pain made me dizzy, I couldn't open my eyes. Are you okay? There's so much blood! Really? I didn't mean to get such a terrible injury. More importantly, if we don't go and get a ball, they'll all be taken by the boy. Fine, everyone. Hurry, go get a ball. Hey, someone call the nurse! She lost consciousness, and her stance lost its grace as she collapsed to the floor. Well, that's not good. Losing enough blood to make you pass out in like a couple... in like less than 20 seconds? That's pretty bad. On the shoe rack that she had clumsily gone over with her forehead, a slash of blood was thickly plastered. Seeing that, the girls let out a blood-curdling scream. Hearing that, students began to gather near, and the teachers, thinking something was wrong, also came dashing. In the middle of the circled crowd, the girl whose fresh blood continued to spill lost consciousness. Breaking out from that circle, what looked like the figure of an upperclassman calmly walked. It looked as though the humans could not see her. No matter how you look at this is taking it too far. Oh, it's fine. Just enough of an injury to send her to the nurse's office. It's not like it's a life-threatening experience or anything. It's not a matter of degree. I'm telling you, hurting someone's taking it too far. Oh, why are you being so spoiled, Marie? I'm a yokai, aren't I? I'm the dancing Higanbana. I drag students I take interest in to the infirmary. She's someone I took interest in, right? Even if she falls down or she's late, she forgets something, or she gets pinched. No matter what happens to her, she keeps saying, it's so much fun. I want to make her cry no matter what it takes. The girl was carried to the school infirmary. Although her worried friends stuck by her side, they weren't allowed in. There was nothing to do but pray for her well-being and dejectedly return home. In the infirmary, nurses were watching her condition. What do you think, nurse? Would it be best for us to call an ambulance? Oh, she's fine. The cut on her forehead's quite clean. But she passed out. I said she's fine. Kids aren't that breakable. She's probably just a bit surprised when she saw a lot of blood coming out. Let's let her rest for a while and keep an eye on her condition. Did she let her homeroom teacher know she'll be resting a while? Yes, I understand. Fortunately, it didn't seem to be as bad of an injury as it looked. I mean, the dangerous thing about head injuries is that they look worse than they are, but they can also cause a lot of damage, even if they don't look that bad. A bandage had been wrapped all around the girl's head, and she was lying down on the bed. Certainly her appearance was painful to look at, but according to her expression, she looked rather serene. In actuality, she also didn't think she'd sustained that serious of an injury. Her consciousness is a little far off, but it's still there, and from what the teachers could tell, she was sleeping. But in reality, she was just listening in on what was happening around her. Thank goodness. It looks like it's not a serious injury. It's a relief, but it also feels a bit disappointing. On a day with such nice weather like this, when the chime went off, we simultaneously dashed out of the classroom, and I was planning on playing like crazy. I was ruined by hitting my head on a shoe rack. Still, I thought I'd at least end up with a bump. By no means did I think I'd collapse. Today just really isn't going along with me, but, well, I guess it's fine. I was thinking I always wanted to sleep in the infirmary bed at least once. And my wish came true, so maybe that's a good thing. From far away, I could hear the chime that signaled the end of lunch break. I think it's 5th period. That's right, PE. If I get up right now, I could use the fact I didn't play during my lunch break and exercise with all my might. Even though I feel more energetic, my body feels heavy like it was half asleep and won't listen to what I tell it to do. Oh man. Even though this spectacular looking day of X month, X day, X year will never happen again, why am I spending this precious school day sleeping in this place? Oh, I tripped and fell. Forgot my things. Seriously, today just isn't so great. The girl who is trying with all her might to think of her dream of sleeping in the infirmary bed as a plus, as could be expected with all these misfortunes piling up, was getting discouraged. Oh, so you're awake? The nurse noticed. Yes. How do you feel? Do you have a headache or anything? Nothing to be concerned about. By my decree, you should sleep a little longer. The nurse had a bright expression. She's glad it wasn't a serious injury. It could be worse. I just want to go back to class soon. The only day I can attend today's 5th period class is today. I don't want to waste my chance of going to today's 5th period class sleeping in a place like this. Are you okay? It's because you were running the halls you wound up like this, really? My homeroom teacher came too and got mad at me. The school nurse, saying, calm down, was standing up for me. I suppose you could learn that running in the halls is a bad thing if you hit your head and remember how much it hurt. I mean, you could also argue that being attacked by yokai is not something you should reasonably expect to have happen to you on a regular basis today. So running on the halls was not actually the problem. As the yokai also did the same thing to her outside the school, where she was ordered to run, remember? We just had that discussion, so it doesn't really matter. She'll be attacked by the spirit regardless. You won't run or anything anymore, right? I won't. I responded with a nod, and a relieved smile came from both teachers. I think I'll let her sleep for a little longer. I think she'll probably be able to go back to her homeroom eventually. Is that so? Thanks. Hear that? Rest a while, alright? Don't push yourself. I want to go to gym. What would happen if you exercised and your wound opened up? After 5th period, if you look like you're awake, you can go back. That should be fine. After 5th period, there aren't any more classes. In short, my school life of today is going to end here. While saying I feel just fine, I tried to get up. Then the nurse kept me from getting up and got mad at me, saying I have to get some sleep. I thought I'd try to protest that I was energetic in my own way, but it didn't do me any good. Eventually, the homeroom teacher left, and the chime sounding the beginning of 5th period rang. From the courtyard, I could hear a short whistle blowing, and I began to hear everyone's enthusiastic shouts. They were the voices of my classmates, and even though I couldn't see them, I could tell it was them just by hearing their voices from here. It was Fuji-kun and the others messing around and enjoying themselves. The leader of the girls, Nikishi-san, and others were warned, and they got into arguments and were warned by a teacher. Even though I can't see the courtyard, by listening carefully I can pick up what's happening out there from inside the infirmary. Since it faces the courtyard, I could hear the voices on campus really well. Well, that's handy, isn't it? Even though all I could do is look up at the ceiling, like this. Even like this, I can tell what everyone's doing. Even though I can tell what everyone's doing, it's as if they're so close to me, but I can't see anyone. I'm the only one who can't be with them. They're so close. Feeling I'm in a world so far removed from everyone, I was sad. I knew this would be the last of it. Looks like I win. I lost a little respect for you, Higanbana-san. Oh, it's fine. After all, I granted her wish of sleeping in an infirmary bed. How sad. She just wanted to go to PE with everyone. See, when you're in infirmary, you really can hear the voices from outside. Whoever it is, what they're doing, or what they're playing, you can tell easily. The master of the infirmary said with her eyes staring into the distance. Even though you can feel everyone enjoying themselves as if they're right next to you, you can't see them, nor can you be with them. Could it be you're talking about yourself, Higanbana-san? It's about all school yokai, or rather non-human beings. Is this what it means to have life after death, I wonder? The girl was thinking the same. If I died, since I still have many regrets in this world, I'd probably wish to return into a ghost without resting in peace. After becoming a spirit, where would I go? School's fun. If I think about it, I spend more time at school than home. Definitely if I were to become a ghost, I think I'd become a school ghost. You forgot the part where you're sleeping 6 to 8 hours a day. I thought about that absent-mindedly for a time. But right now, in this infirmary, all I could do was hear the sound of everyone's voices seemingly having so much fun. I started to feel just a bit lonely, I suppose. I'm this close to everyone, and even though I can tell what everyone's doing and what games they're playing, I can't count myself as one of them. My simple wish to see their faces can't be granted. I'd hate it, being a ghost like that. But sleeping here now, I am a school ghost. Perhaps, when I hit my head on the school lockers, I really died? Perhaps I become a corpse on this bed? A strange idea crossed my mind. It was scary. I concentrated on wiggling my fingers. They move. I'm not a corpse. But as long as I'm sleeping here, I am a corpse. I'm a ghost. I thought being a ghost would be more fun, disappearing at will, pulling mysterious pranks. I thought I could always be with everyone. I hate this. I don't want to be a ghost like this. I hate being like a corpse like this. The chime sounds, signaling the end of the 5th period. And then the phone rang. The nurse picks up. You've been a great help? Yeah, thank you. Saying that, she put down the receiver, and after briefly checking my condition, she left the infirmary. As her footsteps faded, silence fell over the infirmary, and slowly I began to get up. Suddenly, I'm feeling better. When I was carried in, I'd felt so heavy. But now I already felt completely better. I wonder how long I should wait here. I tried rotating my neck and shoulders. Gingerly, I tried touching the bandage on my head. Yeah, it's good. I wonder, will the nurse hurry back soon? If I head back now, I might make it in time to help clean the classroom. It's the last possible activity I can get involved in at school today. I tried waiting for the nurse's return for a while, but she didn't come. Well, I've given up the role of corpse. I'll become a ghost. I got up out of bed and put on my indoor slippers. The ghost that I want to be is the one who can freely go around the school and play all sorts of games with everyone. I'll make myself one from now on. I smoothly opened the infirmary door. The hallway was overflowing with noise, joyful noises, laughing noises, the sound of many going back and forth, the sound of them on the stairwells. Showing signs of people, those who are certainly alive. Were sounds overflowing with the sensation of life. That's right. This is the world of the living. I stopped being dead in the infirmary and left into the hallway. I'm heading back. Off to my classroom, and I'll help with the cleaning up. I quickly snuck off and returned to my class. Yoko-chan, are you alright? Look at your head. Yeah, I'm fine now. Bandage itches, though. Just don't go and take it off. Everyone voiced their concern for the bandage on my head. Normally, completely unconcerned people even asked me if I was alright. Feelings like those made me feel so happy. Everyone kindly asked me to rest instead of clean, but I refused. At the very least, I want to clean the room with everyone, because after all, it's fun. It's the last thing in a school day. My job was cleaning the science room. Putting the chairs on top of the desks, everyone began going around the room with brooms. More than sweeping the floors, it felt like we were chasing each other around. After all, I didn't get my recess nor my PE hour, so I used every bit of energy I had today into the time I had to clean up. Wait up. Hey, stop that, Yoko! Leaping and pouncing, like old cartoons of cats chasing mice, we played. Sometimes we'd slip and fall or bump into the corners of the desks, but we were having so much fun we didn't feel a thing. They didn't directly call out Tom and Jerry, but it's certainly a reference. What are you girls doing? If you run around like that, you'll break something. Sorry, Takeshi Nonomiya-kun! Out of the way! Yeah! She's still going. Stop! Take that! Oh, it's this story. The broom I was using to chase my friends who ran from the science prep room to the laboratory got caught on something. What? And then came a loud splat. See? Didn't I tell you? Yoko, are you okay? I'm fine, but oh man. This doesn't go well. It doesn't look like this person's doing so well. What I'd got caught on was the science room's friendly, grotesque human anatomy dummy. It toppled to the floor, breaking into countless pieces. It's fine. It's fine. If we keep quiet, they won't think it was us. Remember this, Mr. Photography Guy? Let's go, Yoko. Yoko? I met with the eyes of the boy with glasses who had the same job I did. That's Takeshi Nonomiya-kun. He's not really a boy I've talked to much, but he had a shocked look on his face. Sorry, Takeshi Nonomiya-kun. Even though you warned me saying don't break anything, I'm sorry. Even if you apologize to me, I'll be in trouble. Apologize to the teacher. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, Nat-chan. I'll go apologize to the teacher, okay? I said he won't know it as long as you keep quiet about it. Can't do that. I'm gonna go apologize. I'm the one who broke it. Chan, you had nothing to do with it. Wait here. Wait, Yoko! I went past Takeshi Nonomiya-kun and ran to the staff room. The teacher from the infirmary was there as well, so I got double scolded to be quiet and not leave. I did have the small thought of keeping quiet so I wouldn't be found out in my mind. This much was true. But if I ended a day like today with feelings like those, they'd stay on my conscience, and obviously I'd feel bad. So I got yelled at by the teacher, but my conscience was clear. I had my fill of plenty of hijinks during cleaning duty. What a twist. A different story. Finally, it was time to go back to homeroom. We listened to the teacher tell us to make sure to take care when going home. And then we stood. Bowed. Goodbye. All my classmates rang out in a great chorus. Compared to their greetings this morning, everyone called it out with pleasant feelings of liberation. Then everyone started hurriedly chatting all at once. Let's go, let's walk together. Today, on the way back, you want to stop by my place? Sounds good, let's go. Suddenly everything feels so rushed. Yoko, let's go together, my friend spoke. And I answered with a wide smile. Sorry, I have a bit of business to take care of at the school. Head on without me, okay? Oh, alright. Later then. See you tomorrow. Bye. Yeah, bye. I'll see you tomorrow. Everyone took off dashing together out of the classroom. The other classes' homeroom periods began to end one after the other. The hallway was bustling with kids hurrying home. Even that bustling, with all its noise and chattering, began to fade away little by little. The hallway to the stairwell. From the stairs to the entrance. Then disappearing to the schoolyard they went, and the school began to fill with silence. So far, this has just been a chill day. Let's see where the pitch comes in. The sun slowly began to wane, painting the inside of the classroom orange. From the window, the teacher forgot to close. A cool wind blew, causing the curtains to gently sway. And the white bundle the wind made in the curtains as it blowed was something I loved seeing since I was a child, because it would remind me of a white dress. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye, huh? See you tomorrow because we can meet again. That's what farewell means, right? Bye-bye, everyone. Goodbye. I look over the orange classroom once more and slowly stand up and leave. Everyone went from the stairs to the entrance below. I'm headed up. With each step I took, up to the roof. Opening the door to the roof, I was greeted by the spectacular setting sun. There were two shadowed figures with that sun behind them. How was it? Yoko Numata-san? Yes, it was a really fun day. You met with all sorts of problems though, didn't you? Oh yes, I tripped, I was late, I forgot things, I got yelled at. I hurt myself, I was sent to the infirmary. I've done so many things, it was a lot of fun. I lost. Well, satisfied now? Yeah. Staying behind as a ghost seems really lonely. I don't think I could quite handle it. Oh, that's fine too. Being a spirit, there's nothing fun about it. Same for yokai. I mean, we can't leave the school, because we have nowhere to return to. Yeah, so I think I'll head home. I look down on the courtyard illuminated by the evening sun. Kids hard at work with club activities. Kids that haven't had their fill of fun just yet playing with the equipment. I can see all kinds of them. I used to be one of them once. And today I surely was one of them. And now I have no regrets. You got your one last day, and now you stay dead? Is that what it's gonna be? I only had one thing to say about how I felt today. It was really a lot of fun. But this is the chick from the photographer story, right? In school I had one fun day like this, didn't I? I wish I'd paid more attention when I was alive. Numata-san. I continued to laugh because I was happy, because I had fun. Being able to end such a wonderful day with a laugh made me so happy. And for the longest time I laughed. Your promise? You haven't forgotten, have you? No, please. Higanbana-san, are you going to eat her? Well, since it's that kind of promise, I gave you the miracle of today as a present. So your soul, still with lingering regrets, could once again experience school life and be exorcised of your strong, lingering pain. So I could take it. Makes me lick my lips wondering what kind of taste your soul's been given. Higanbana giggled and put on a display of licking her lips with her tongue. Sorry, Namata-san. If I had more power? It's okay, thank you. Take care, you two. See you. Goodbye. She said finally and waved her hand like saying goodbye to a close friend. And then her body slowly began to crumble. Softly, her white soul, like the smoke from incense, and like a balloon slowly trailing in the wind, began to float upwards. Higanbana gently plucked it and held it in her white fingers, and with her slender lips she put its tail in her mouth. What? I won't give you any. It's my prey. I won't say I want it. Alright, I'm gonna leave. Oh, leaving already? I thought you were gonna stay and watch, complain, and make some noise a bit longer. Even if I made a big deal of it, you'd never listen anyway, would you? That's true too, I suppose. Well, just talking is pointless. I'll head back. I think drink some tea alone. I found some delicious rice cake stuffed with strawberries in the staff room yesterday. Naturally, there were two, weren't there? Oh, there are. I'm gonna eat both of them, since I'm sure Higanbana-san will be full from eating after this. Marie left Higanbana with those words as she quickly went down the stairs. Wait, hold on, Marie. Gee. Higanbana looked back and forth between Marie's fleeting finger and the soul she held in her hand. Once again, she took a mouthful of the soul's tail, but her eyebrows waned in worry. As I thought, your taste doesn't suit me. Spitting out the soul with a pweh, she wipes her mouth with a handkerchief. In that instant, the soul slowly passed through her fingers and gently rose to the sky. Ah, what have I done? Higanbana smiled bitterly as she looked upwards. As if it were being sucked into the twilight-colored sky, it shrank in the distance. Ah, it was just an easy job anyway. Higanbana shrugged her shoulders and put away her handkerchief. Marie, you don't really intend to keep everything for yourself? Give me one, okay? If you don't, I won't let you watch TV in the infirmary. Hey, are you listening? I was thinking it was the chick from the photography thing. The second they started cleaning the science room, I was like, oh, I know who this is. Got even more, I was suspecting who it was, but it got even more obvious as we got towards the end. Interesting story. Kind of ties into the other one, unless it's someone else. I should probably check the names of the characters from the photography story. I think it was titled The Spirit Camera. That one guy she was talking to, you know, the only other guy with a sprite, was in the Spirit Camera, and his main gripe was that, like, someone knocked over the anatomy dummy in the science room, and he got the blame for it. Ended up driving someone to kill themselves over that. He's pretty salty. Pretty salty over something pretty insignificant, but hey,